my historians, grab some coffee. Let's get going this Monday with some world history. We're going to be continuing on the story of these river valleys and looking further east. We'll be comparing spiritual traditions and the rise of different spiritual world religions and local religions, regional religions, with Southeast Asia, looking at India, looking at China, and what has arisen in the river valleys in those places, right? Creating new identities that have continued from ancient times till today in those areas. So we're going to see some interesting stuff and how that compares and is different than Mesopotamia that you saw last week, as well as Egypt. And then after that, we're going to get back into the Mediterranean and look at Greece. But this week, it's a couple chapters. We're going to have chapter 3 and chapter 4. So if you're in my U.S. history class as well, it's the same sort of theme. We be needing to read this week, y'all. We need some reading done. So you have a couple very intense, lots of information in those chapters, chapter 3 and 4. So start working on those if you have a chance, if you haven't already. Some of you, you have a few things due. You have the quiz due. If you haven't had access to it, it should be live and well. Throw me a message if you can't get on with the quiz. But that's posted. The next quiz is already posted, but I think it'll come live on Wednesday for chapter 3 and 4. The discussions are wonderful. I'll be giving some comments and feedback throughout this week on those for you all, so you can see how you're doing in comparison and what to grow on from here. If you haven't already commented on your small groups discussions, do that today. There's some great stuff. People in your group all coming at it from a different direction, which is the whole point of history, and how you're seeing things and what you're getting out of it is different than somebody else in your group. So that makes it a little more lively as well. And looking at the discussion, so you have a discussion Wednesday on ancient India and Buddhism. You have one on Friday of looking at power in China. So a lot of interesting things. What I will be doing is posting a few videos. One is to recap last week to make sure all the information makes sense from what we talked about last week, and what to grab from that at the end for an exam. If you want for more information, if there's anything that interests you in this, we just have to kind of move things fast, which kills my historian soul. But if there's more information you want for your own time, let me know, and I'd be happy to send you sources and information. But also, besides a recap, you'll get a couple videos to synthesize what's happening in chapters 3 and chapters 4 to help out there. Next week is going to be shorter. We're back to one chapter, so you'll have looking at ancient Greece. So that'll be a lot of fun, and a lot of people in Western culture has some understanding more so of that, it seems. So we'll be talking about ancient Greece, looking at the real 300, if you've seen the movies and other movies that portray Greece in certain light. And why they do that is also part of the discussion we'll be talking about. So we'll look at ancient Greece, then we're going to get into ancient Rome, then we're going to get into this, what I call the heirs of Rome, the split of Rome, where Rome, this huge empire that controls the Mediterranean, calling it the Mare Nostrum, their ocean, splits in many different directions. You get Western Europe, you get Byzantium, you get even what comes to be as the rise of Islam, and we'll be looking at Islam as well. So we have a bunch to do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying it. Throw me a message one way or the other, just to let me know how you're doing. And as you'll get feedback this week, so that'll be helpful for as well. But I don't have too many comments of concern but I know there's some out there, I'm sure. So throw me a message if you do have a concern, if you have any questions at all. But we're moving through things pretty awesomely, and you're doing great. We're halfway through this class, so just push on through and continue rocking it. You're doing wonderfully, and let me know after the videos, after you see that, and after you see some comments this week, if there's anything else you need for your success. Okay? Have a great start to your week. Have a great week, and we'll be in touch. Bye-bye.